Okay, so here we are. This is Matt from Zombies My Blog, and my special guest is...
I'm Amanda, but I go by Manda Bear or Manda Bear Smash on Twitter.
Very good. So you are the special guest cosplay extreme here at Yama-Con. So can you tell me a little bit how you got into cosplay?
That's probably a little bit generous, but I'm a self-taught seamstress and fabricator from the Midwest. I moved to the Atlanta area in 2006, worked a little bit of fabric retail at a Joanne Fabrics, and then ended up getting super stupid lucky and fell in with a couple of other commissioners down in the Atlanta area, and I've been fortunate enough to do some contract work throughout the past couple of years for Vulcan Props and God Save the Queen Fashions.
Okay. What was your very first cosplay outfit?
My very first cosplay outfit was, I would have to say, all the way back in like 2001, 2002, I made probably the worst Sailor Moon costume to wear for Halloween. I worked at a video store, no wig, first time sewing and first time sewing with Lycra. So those of you who know what that's like, it was awful.
So have you saved the costume to this day?
No, I wish I would have burned it in effigy at some point, but I'm pretty sure it fell through the cracks at some point, like moving, divorce, all of that.
Unintentionally, of course.
Oh yeah, of course, no.
So what is one of your favorite characters that you love cosplaying?
It's not so much a character, but more of a series.
Sure.
I love the video game series Monster Hunter. I've been a huge fan since the closed beta in 2004. I did a beta test through SCEA and PS2, which is a bunch of server stress test type stuff. Followed the series through all of its incarnations here in the States. We've even picked up a couple of versions that are made available here in the US. But yeah, definitely Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter.
So we're more Xbox fans, so can you tell us any other kind of video game characters or any other characters that we might know about?
Let's see here. Well, this is a video game character here.
Okay.
This is one of this is Kinsey's loyalty outfit from Saints Row 4.
Okay.
Saints Row 3 and Saints Row 4 have been two of my super fun favorite games to play super recently. As far as like other games that I enjoy with characters that I would love to do costumes for, huge fan of the Borderlands series. Originally I wanted to do one of the Sirens like Maya or Lilith. Then once they released the Psycho Pack and Krieg, I fell in love. So I would love to do a Krieg costume. I would love to do Yoshimitsu from the Soul Calibur and Tekken series, like ultimate all-time like Sistine Chapel type work right there. Hopefully one of these days I'll be able to do that. Some of my costumes have, I use lots of little bits and pieces references, things like some of my costumes have a little bits of Halo armor that have been modified, so that's something, if you guys have Xbox, you probably are a little bit familiar with that at least. So hopefully something you guys can relate to.
What's some of your best known characters that you like cosplaying at the different conventions?
Best known characters, I'm probably really bad about picking super obscure stuff.
Okay.
So, I don't think I have nothing really that stands out to me that people are usually pretty good at recognizing. A lot of the times it's people who are pretty hardcore into the similar fandoms as I am, and then you get that one fan or like the handful of fans that are like, oh my god, that's Kinsey, or that's Xiao Yu from Tekken in her Street Fighter Cross Tekken Chun-Li alternate, stuff like that.
Sure.
So, sorry guys.
No worries. So what are you currently geeking out to?
Currently geeking out to Final Fantasy XIV is a big thing for me right now. I've been playing quite a bit with my husband. I would really like to do the default Miko gear. I'm also working on getting my White Mage leveled up to my White Mage gear. That would be really nice to have. And I like the stylings for the monk stuff too. So honestly, this is my first time ever playing an MMORPG. So, and of course I pick out healer. Oh my goodness, I am like the world's worst White Mage out there. So if you ever see Effin' Bear B on the Cactar server, be gentle. I'm not very good at being a White Mage.
Tell me a little bit about your day job. How did you get into working, oddly enough, costumes and props?
Well, I wouldn't really consider it like a normal day job.
Okay.
I got stupid lucky through some networking. A friend of mine, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time at somebody's birthday party. That's how I made the initial connection with Kathy at God Save the Queen Fashions. We found out that we lived really close to each other physically in the same town and everything. So she had invited me over for like a crafting day just to kind of hang out. It's tough. A lot of people have like the regular 9 to 5, and it's nice to have other builders that work during the day, and you can kind of go out and hang out in workshop spaces together and stuff. Kathy was impressed with the work that she had seen me do, and she had asked if I was available to help out around the shop. I told her I was. I worked for her for solid for about a year. She had recommended my services to Vulcan, or Harrison and Vulcan Props. He was like, "Ooh, I could probably use a little bit of help too." So I've been kind of going back and forth, just whenever they need a little bit of extra help. It's mostly kind of like contract type work. Otherwise, I just consider myself like a domestic engineer, and I'm fortunate enough to be like a stay-at-home, like wife kind of person and do my thing and build and create messes and bake. And I have cats. A lot of cats.
Do you commission work to other cosplayers, or do you just do it for yourself?
It's mostly just for me.
Okay.
I have a hard time meeting deadlines even for myself, so I don't want that kind of responsibility, especially when other people's money starts getting involved. I would hate to be responsible for something and then drop the ball, and I just don't want to put myself or someone else in that position.
Okay.
So for comfort, just for me, pretty much.
Okay. What kind of tips do you have for beginning cosplayers?
Tips for beginning cosplayers. You cannot Google too much. A lot of the times the source material that we have is usually of like Japanese origin. If you were able to like Google to go to like the wiki page, find the title of your series or your character's name in Japanese, Google that. That's been supremely helpful. Resources like the 501st, the Star Wars guys, the 405th, the Halo guys, the RPF, the Replica Prop Forum, even still on Cosplay.com. It's amazing like what kind of resources are available out on the internet. There are so many patterns available, tutorials, just anything from molding and casting to wigs to 3D modeling to just absolutely anything. It's all out there on the internet. Just keep looking for it. If you don't know the types of stitches there are available, Google types of stitches. It's really that straightforward.
Okay.
Don't be intimidated. Don't be a dick. Don't get discouraged, and just have a lot of fun, even if it's trying and frustrating sometimes.
Do you have questions? Can they contact you, or is there a database for cosplayers to look up any questions?
I know that there are a lot of help sections in the forums over on cosplay.com. I know I don't frequent that too much, so I'm not sure. I can't confirm exactly how helpful, what types of resources or materials. Definitely the websites that I had mentioned, the 405th, the 501st, RPF, there's a lot of information there. I think there are even websites like cosplay tutorial tumblers that try to compile all of the information that they can to make it as easy as possible.
Sure. Personally,
anybody is more than welcome to try to contact me. I do have I have a public page on Facebook that you can find me through. It's just Bear, B-E-A-R, like Bear the animal. You can always drop me a message or shoot me a line on like the wall or whatever. I'm also on Twitter. I told you the incorrect Twitter handle, so apologies.
Okay, so what is it?
It's _Manda_Bear_. I know it's really convoluted. I appreciate your patience there. Yeah, it's you can always just shoot me a message. I'll do the best that I can to try to get back to you and give you as much information as possible. My apologies if it's not as quickly as you.
That's fine. What are your social media? Do you say Twitter, Facebook?
Twitter and Facebook. I don't have a personal webpage. I'm most active on Twitter. I do tend to spend a little bit of time on my computer, so I do spend some time on Facebook. So you can, contact me through there as well.
Okay. Is this your first time at Yama-Con?
It is. It most certainly is. I was invited by the lovely Envil over there to help out with the costume contest and to give a couple of panels. I've had a fantastic time. Everyone's been super hospitable. Met some great customers and great folks like yourself.
Well, thank you. Where will you be heading next?
My next convention that I have confirmed isn't until May, and I will be at MomoCon down in Atlanta at the Marriott, I believe. We would love to see you all down there.
We're fans.
No, they've done some really great things. I am so proud and so pleased to see them grow like by leaps and bounds. It's a fantastic convention. I'll also be at Anime Weekend Atlanta, down in Atlanta, obviously, since it's pretty local. Otherwise, I do some booth work for a couple of companies, and I'm not really sure. I may or may not end up at a couple of other conventions.
Sure.
Hopefully I will. It's always a lot of fun and a great way to, meet lots of people and see lots of costumes.
Definitely. So last question. Favorite zombie show or movie?
Favorite zombie show or movie? I'm probably going to have to go back like original director's cut Resident Evil, like first game, because that was right around whenever I first started to get into like gaming a little bit more recreationally. But I always love lots of zombie stuff. I'm a big fan of the Max Brooks books. I even had some nightmares for a while until I read the Zombie Survival Guide, and then it kind of like totally wiped out all the nightmares. I just recently finished up World War Z, but I hadn't seen the movie yet, so I'm excited to see the movie, even though I hear it would probably be done better as an HBO miniseries and more like the book as opposed to the movie, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
In name only. It is a name only.
Okay, thank you for the heads up, but I wanted to read the book first because that was important to me.
They've already piled green lighted a sequel, so maybe that'll be more like the book, we'll see.
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Very good. So this is Matt from Zombies My Blog, here with Manda Bear at Yama-Con. Thank you so much for checking it out, and definitely check her out online.
Thank you guys.